Thanks for coming today. I know it's a beautiful day out there. It's probably the first day we'd all rather be outside than inside, so I definitely appreciate you coming out. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give you a little introduction about myself and some assumptions that we should have as new business owners. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about why we think it's beneficial for you when you're to the point when you're ready to hire an employee that you should consider outsourcing that piece. So first thing I want to say is, congratulations for getting to this point. I've been in this line of business for about 20 years, and really the thing that I love about this is meeting people like yourselves, because what America is based on is small businesses like yourself, and without you we wouldn't be the great country we are. And really that's what makes my job fun and my sales reps' job so much fun, is meeting people like yourself. So first of all, congratulations for getting to this point. Before I kind of jump into my presentation, what I'm going to talk about, I just want to make a couple of assumptions so we're all on the same page as far as where you're at right now. So obviously you're here because you're to the point where you're hiring an employee, and you're asking yourself, what do I need to do? I thought this is a good segue from what Brian was talking about, because you got to do all your planning, right? You got to know where you're going if you want to get there. So, so the assumption I'll make is that you're ready to get to that point where you're hiring an employee. You've got your federal tax ID number. You've probably got your state ID numbers, and you're ready to start thinking about paying your employee. You probably need a bank account too. So if you don't have a business account for your bank, I'm not here to be a commercial, but we got Wells Fargo has 100 banks in the Twin Cities, so we'd be willing to help you with that. And then you got to think about when you're ready to hire that employee, what do you need from them? Things like I-9s and W-4s. So if you're to that point and you're ready to start thinking about your employee, paying that employee, it's time to think about payroll. So most of what I'm going to talk about for the rest of the time is some things to think about when you're ready to do that payroll. Now, obviously I'm here representing my company, but there's a lot of other reputable companies that you can outsource your payroll to. Brian's company certainly does it, and there's some other national companies that are out there. But so I'm not here to necessarily give you an infomercial on me, but just some things to think about of why it's a beneficial thing to outsource your payroll. So I kind of compiled a top 10 list of those reasons. When I'm done with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have. So that's kind of what's on the docket here. So reason number one, cost. What resources are available for you as a small business owner? Large businesses can afford to maintain big payroll departments. Small business may actually be losing money by using resources to do it in-house. Now, payroll is an expense for your business. If you spend time on it as the owner, you're taking away time dedicated to revenue-producing things for your business, whether it's selling widgets, selling clothes, catering, doing construction, whatever the case may be. So you don't make any money when you do payroll. So it's an expense for your business. So do the math, calculate the hours you or your employees are devoting to payroll-related activities, how much you're spending on that, compare that to the plans offered by several payroll service providers. Factor in the money your business spends on tasks like printing and distributing the checks, creating the tax documents, making the tax deposits, tax returns, W-2s. That's all a cost. Okay. Reasons number 2 and 3: productivity and accuracy. Payroll management is a time-consuming activity. With this burden removed, your employees can focus on doing more productive things, and you may even be able to operate with a smaller staff. That's, again, just segue off of Brian, having a bigger staff doesn't always mean the best things. Payroll mistakes can be painful. Inaccurate checks anger your employees, and more ominously, the IRS. Again, just building off what he said, the IRS doesn't, I don't know if anyone's ever dealt with them, they're not too sympathetic when they don't get their money, right? So a good payroll service provider is far less likely to make a serious error. Furthermore, if a mistake is made, you can seek financial restitution from that provider, something you can't do with your employees. Meaning, companies like us, other, our national bonded, publicly held companies, they have insurances in place if something goes wrong, which normally it never does, but it's good to know if there is mistakes that you can seek restitution. Reliability. In-house payroll activities only function as reliably as the people doing the work. Now, this isn't necessarily an indictment on you, but again, it's as good as the people that if you have an assistant or something, they could go on vacation, they could get sick, there could be interruptions. So again, the payroll activities are only as good as the in-house person doing it. And also, you won't have to spend time helping new hires understand your business payroll system. So again, if you're having an assistant or someone help you, they leave, you don't have to get a new person up and running to know that if you're outsourcing the payroll. All right, moving on. Speed. Payroll services providers are specialists with vast technical resources at their disposal. They can process even most complex payrolls at lightning fast speed. Unlike most employers, they can accommodate a temporary influx of seasonal workers without acquiring new systems that will remain dormant the rest of the year. So, that's speaking to if there's ebbs and flows into your business. All of a sudden, you got to add 10 employees. Do you have the resources to handle that? Payroll service providers are definitely geared to do that. And direct deposit. Most of your employees are probably accustomed to having direct deposit nowadays. If you've been in previous environments, you probably had direct deposit. Direct deposit for your employees is pretty much a standard offering with most payroll service providers. Insight. A good payroll service provider will know all the details of payroll-related tax laws and regulatory mandates on the federal, state, and local levels. Again, that's just part of what is expected. For example, in 2011, President Obama reduced the FICA, the Social Security, for what's withheld from the employees by 2% for this year, whereas the employer match remained the same. So those things they're changing. It's going to go back next year. So does your in-house system software know that? So I mean, payroll service providers are going to stay on top of that stuff and be current with all of those laws. Required new hire paperwork, I already mentioned. W-4s, I-9s can be provided by a payroll service provider. And some payroll providers require their account managers to be CPP or FPC certified by the American Payroll Association. That's the equivalent of being a CPA in the accounting community. It's actually a designation where you have to pass the test to get those certifications. Accountability. If paychecks are delayed or paperwork is mishandled, it's the payroll service provider's responsibility to fix things. Again, you're paying them for a service, so if they're not doing it right, it's their responsibility. If a provider can't or won't remedy the situation to your satisfaction, you can pursue legal action. You can also switch to another provider easily because the required information is in a format that can be used by any payroll provider. There's no contracts in the payroll services industry. It's just something that you're not going to pay exit fees. There's no long-term contracts. You're just hiring someone to help you out with that piece of your business. There's little or no retraining of staff if someone leaves unexpectedly. That's kind of what I was talking about before. If you have someone internally and they leave, you have to rehire them. Reasons 8 and 9, flexibility and security. Payroll work can act like an anchor on your business development and keep you from doing important activities that will make your company money. I talked a little bit about this previously. If it's an expense for your business, if you're spending time on it, you're not making money for your business with other things. You and your staff, when free of payroll responsibilities, will be able to focus on those productive tasks. Security, this is actually a big one. Payroll information is very sensitive. It needs to be protected from getting in the wrong hands, whether that's your business